The sun is high in the sky above. Over 100,000 fans gathered here today at the beautiful Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Here, gathered to watch the Nextel Cup Series take on the 2-mile, 3-turn racetrack. We are high above this facility in the press box. I am joined here by Rashad Metz, a 2-time champion of the Grand Tourism on the Live Link himself. Rashad, how you doing here today?
I'm doing great, Miles. Look what we got ahead of us today. We got the Nextel Cup Series in Gran Turismo. All your heroes, all your villains, everybody lined up together to battle it out, to duke it out, to see who's the best in this 2007 car, in this 2007 season here at Blue Moon Bay Raceway. What a better place to decide it all than right here.
Now this 2007 car, this Cup car, this Generation 4 stock car has seen a lot of changes over this past year. We've seen it become a lot more skewed, a lot more aerodynamically dependent. So that's going to play a huge factor here today, where dirty air is going to be a ginormous factor at the outcome of this event. So it's going to be cool to see how these drivers have been able to change these cars, set up. We've seen a couple spin outs during practice throughout the weekend, so it's going to be fun to see who can get a handle of the racetrack, where handling is such a big factor. And we're going to go ahead and run through the starting lineup of today's race. Starting on the front row, Denny Hamlin won the pole. No surprise there. He's already won a race at Pocono where he's really, really good. So a very similar track, so good for him. Outside of him is going to be Martin Truex Jr. in the number 1 car for DEI. But right behind him is the Rocket Man Ryan Newman. Good qualifying effort by him. Behind him, Michael Waltrip in the 55 Napa car. Behind him, the number 9 of Casey Kane. And then the 22, the highest qualifying Toyota of Dave Blaney. The 01 of Mark Martin will be right behind him. And then Junebug Old Dale Jr. in the number 8. Then Jimmy Johnson, he's going to be starting behind him in the 48 car. David Gill in the 38. The 20 of Tony Stewart starting in the Home Depot car. The 43 of Bobby Labonte will start behind him. Right behind him, another Penske Dodge of Kurt Busch. Then the number 5 Hendrick car of Kyle Busch. Two brothers starting there next to each other. Juan Pablo Montoya, our only foreign driver here today in the 42. Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Chevrolet. Matt Kenseth in the Kenseth 17. The 29 car of Kevin Harvick, the 99 of Carl Edwards will start P last. So, Rashad, what do you think the challenges are that these drivers will face here today? Really, really hot racetrack, very, very middle of the day, so it's going to be some hot temperatures. What do you think these challenges these drivers are going to have to face are?
Well, with the hot temperatures today, that track's going to be really slick. So the key point I think going to be going in is how you're going to enter these corners. Try not to overuse those tires. Take care of them a little bit, especially as you see about the dirty air. You're really going to be seeing these drivers probably move around a lot on this racetrack. Really trying to charge into these corners. Top, bottom, I think we're going to see driving everywhere. These guys are going to take advantage of the grip fresh off the green flag. So we're super excited to see how they navigate maybe these long green flag runs if we get any, or any short green flag runs that we get. So I'm just super excited to see how we navigate this.
It's really interesting to see who has a handle on the Gen 4 the most, since the Gen 4 is actually coming toward the end of its career. We actually have a new car in development, the COT, which will run a couple races there in the later half of the Nextel Cup Series season. But we're just running a couple exhibitions with the Gen 4 car, so it's going to be interesting to see who is still ready to have some fun in these cars. But let's waste no more time. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Some of the best guys ready to go at it. 20 laps to settle it here at Blue Moon Bay. Are you ready to get it started? Let's go ahead and get this thing going. And the green flag is out. We are racing at Blue Moon Bay Speedway.
Great start by the 11 of Denny Hamlin as he leads the number 1 of Martin Truex Jr. into turn 1.
Take a look at Casey Kane. What a run by him. He's going to dive down to the inside. 2x2 for second place. Newman shoves it to the inside. 3 wide now.
Casey Kane 3 wide.
Casey Kane 3 wide now. He's making a pass for the lead. Started back there in P4.
Casey Kane got a great start, got a great run following Ryan Newman into turn 1. Watch Ryan Newman make that mistake, slide up. See, he underestimated the grip on those cold tires and took advantage of it. Here comes the 9 trying to battle it back in the final corner against Denny Hamlin for the lead here.
Dives it down to the inside. A little crossover for Hamlin. Oh, Hamlin gets to the side of him. Heavy contact off of the corner. That's going to not be good for Casey Kane. That's going to allow Truex to slip past it in the second place spot.
But again, there's a lot of stuff happening in lap 1, but there's still a lot of time for these drivers to try to make up positions. I feel like patience still might be a virtue here in this race.
Here they come thundering off of turn 1. Some more contact back there in the back half of the pack. See some smoke flying. Not a good start from Ryan Newman, but take a look at Jimmy Johnson up inside the top 5 now.
This is Jimmy Johnson's bread and butter, a hot, slick racetrack. Right now, he loves when that car is driving off the right rear when he's sliding around, and right now he's taking advantage of all those drivers that are still not ready and not on their game.
Under some pressure now from the 12 of Ryan Newman. Take a look forward throughout the pack now. These guys trying to get a handle there, slipping and sliding off of that final turn as they head down the front straightaway.
I think Denny Hamlin's looking to try to break away from the pack here. As you see, they're fanning out down the front straightaway, trying to pass, use that slipstream as much as they can. But Martin Truex Jr. is not willing to let Denny Hamlin get away. Look how he gets that car to turn down the racetrack. Had to check up, got loose. Here comes Dale Jr. on the inside.
Little pack here. Man, what a mess they have back here around 7th place. 2 and 3 wides at some spot here.
You got a favorite yet, Miles? I know we're only lap 3. We're only 3 laps into this thing, but do you think any drivers stick out to somebody that may be able to win this race?
I mean, you got to take a look at Denny Hamlin. He probably has the most experience at a track like this, or most success, actually, to say. He has been really good in that Joe Gibbs Racing Chevrolet. That Monte Carlo has been fast at almost all racetracks that he's been to, but man, especially Pocono. And this is the closest thing to Pocono that you can pretty much get. And he has been really successful there. I put it on the pole for today's race. But he has a really, really hungry pack to keep behind him, so it's really interesting to see if he could do so today.
Again, a lot of moving around, a lot of shuffling. We're starting to see him single file out more. The drivers are getting comfortable to how their cars are handling. As you see, and once again, those hot temperatures, the track is really slowing down. A single file out, take their time to make passes so they don't run each other over and don't get any damage.
Pass for the lead there off of the final turn. Truex able to slip past, and he's going to get 5 points for leading that lap.
That's exactly what he needed, and took the fastest lap while he was at it. 49.475. Denny Hamlin had just clocked in that 50 point. Ooh. I think Martin Truex Jr. really had something for him today.
Mess back there in the back. Bobby Labonte did not get a good entrance to that turn number 1, the number 43 car.
Field is really starting to spread out here. Well, we're seeing a breakaway between the front few cars.
And they have been racing really hard. Here comes Hamlin back to take the lead.
Followed by the 9 of Casey Kane.
2 cars slip past Truex to retake the lead. Casey Kane has been really fast, the fastest Dodge all day so far.
It's one thing about those Dodge engines. They usually are really good at these tracks with long straightaways. Any track that requires horsepower or straight line speed, those Dodges usually have the perfect engine setup for them. And right now, Casey Kane is showing them that these straightaways are his domain.
Now, one thing I would like to talk about, you see back here in 6th place, Dave Blaney, the highest running Toyota. Toyota has been struggling this year in 2007 so far. This is their first year in the Cups or Nextel Cup Series, so they've been really, really struggling, trying to find some momentum. As here comes Casey Kane back to take the lead for the first time today, followed by Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, here comes Ryan Newman. Might go 3 wide here. Into turn 1.
Here he goes.
He's got there side by side. How are they going to navigate it? The track's still slick. Oh!
Little contact there. They wash up
the racetrack.
Newman up to P2 now.
It looks like he's right back on the outside. He's not going to give up so soon.
Doesn't quite have the momentum that these other guys got, using the slipstream, the draft down these long straightaways. Here comes Hamlin to the inside of Newman. Some excellent racing here for the lead at Bloomin' Bay. Here comes Denny Hamlin. Oh, a little nudge to Casey Kane. They all wash up the racetrack.
Using each other up all the way as they drag race to the start-finish line.
Side by side, it looks like Casey Kane is going to lead that lap by a nose.
What a race so far, but look at these drivers side by side and still pulling away.
The slide job, but here comes the crossover move. Oh, they make heavy contact! Bumping and banging. You not afraid to use the bumpers or the doors here today at Blue Moon Bay.
But going back to the number 22 of Dave Blaney here, Toyota's coming in, brand new manufacturer. I think right now, you see of Bill Davis Racing, they're looking for a team that can, Bill Davis Racing is looking for a manufacturer that can help rebrand this team, help build this team back up, try to relive some of that glory when they were driving with Ward Burton and when Ward Burton was behind the wheel. So right now, I think this is a very good pairing. I know Toyota just got into the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, but I feel like with a little bit of time, I feel like Toyota might be able to make their name.
Yeah, a lot of teams have talked about going over there. I mean, so far, only a handful of teams. Of course, you got Bill Davis Racing with the 22 Caterpillar car. You got Michael Waltrip Racing switched over Toyotas. You got a couple of other. Red Bull Racing actually is dabbled in the sport a little bit now. So a couple cars here and there, but none of them have really ran so good so far. But man, they're just working out the kinks. And it's good to see a new manufacturer on the track.
I agree. But Dave Blaney is still in the top 10 here today, so it's still a good fight. But this race is not over yet, especially with these lead drivers throwing haymakers like they are. It's still anybody's race.
Here they are. 3-4 car battle for the lead. Now here they come in the turn one. They're going to be side by side. Newman down to the inside. Oh, he gets up into him.
Again.
A little bump, a little nudge. Newman's going to head out to the lead. Does he get the momentum? Yes, he does. He clears Hamlin on the back straightaway.
Wow, we're halfway through this race right now, and these drivers are going after it.
Now, one thing you got to look up soon is pit stops. Pit stops are going to have to come sooner or later. You're going to have to get some fuel. Going to have to service those race cars. Who's been saving fuel? Who's been going at it? Who has the strategy to make it to the end? As we're side by side, bumping and banging down the front straightaway again.
One thing I can tell you is Denny Hamlin and Ryan Newman are not saving fuel right now the way these guys are racing. But those guys farther back in the back, maybe top 5 and back, I feel like those guys might be saving a little bit of fuel here and there, and that might make a huge difference judging by how hard these guys in the front are running.
Side by side, a little bump, a little nudge. Look at Tony Stewart. He started way back in the pack, I believe. He's up inside the top 5 now.
You could never count Tony Stewart out. That guy is a wheelman. He may not get the car that he's most comfortable with, but he can get a handle of any car, and he can drive that thing to the front, no matter if he's comfortable with it or not.
Juan Pablo Montoya making his way up in the P7.
Dave Blaney moved back up into P6, hunting down Tony Stewart for that top 5 position in that Toyota.
Here comes the field snaking their way on to the front straightaway. Newman is going to lead this time by.
Uh-oh, here comes Denny Hamlin again, diving to the inside.
See if they make any contact. Ooh, he keeps it off of him. Really, really close, though. It's hard to keep off of the car in the outside lane coming off of turn 1. Gets really, really tight. Really, really tight. So you got to hang on to that thing. Maybe a light lift. But Hamlin did an excellent job staying underneath the 12.
But what an amazing race so far. See, that's the beauty of of Blue Moon Bay Speedway. It's a great facility, holds great races with any kind of car, especially these Gen 4 2007 Gen 4 stock cars. They're just incredible. Just hear the sound of these cars echo around this arena. The fans are on their feet. Everybody's excited, and this is exactly why NASCAR is one of the premier series in the world.
Man, look at that. Dave Blaney makes a move around the outside. He moves up to P5. Truex back at the P4. Look at Tony Stewart, though. P3 for him. An excellent run by the number 20 machine. He has been trekking his way up through the field all day long.
Can't take your eyes off Tony Stewart, but Man, Dave Blaney entering the top 5 here is great. I feel like this is exactly what Toyota and Bill Davis Racing wanted. They wanted to try to figure this stuff out together, and that's what they're doing. And they're pulling off a great performance right now with him in the top 5.
Newman got shoved up to the outside. Look at that. Here comes Truex. He's going to be side by side for 3rd place. And Dave Blaney is now in the mix for the lead.
Uh-oh, he's going to try to go 3 wide middle. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He's going to cross over. Oh.
Couple more joining the party now. Looks like that's Kurt Busch back there, the number 2, starting to join this little lead breakaway. But look at the fuel. They're starting to run dangerously low. I bet you pit stops will be coming up soon.
I think so, but right now I think the field's starting to merge back together because all those drivers that spent the first half of this run saving fuel no longer have to save it. So they're catching up with those guys. They're having to back the car down and roll the car up a little bit to try to save a little bit of extra fuel to make their to make the length of the run.
Here they come on the pit road. The leaders are going to head the pit road this time by. Looks like, I believe, someone stayed out on the racetrack. Juan Pablo Montoya and Bobby Labonte stay out on the racetrack, the lone 2 cars.
I wonder if this alternative strategy is going to pay off for them. Do they even have enough fuel to make it back around is the real question.
It's good to see Juan Pablo here. One of our first foreign drivers in a while to have here in NASCAR, the Nextel Cup Series. But that 42 car is such a beautiful paint scheme. Texaco Havoline jumped over to Chip Ganassi to sponsor this up-and-coming driver. Really good open-wheel driver. Man, he's pretty much good in everything that you put him in. And he's been doing an excellent job in stock cars, especially on the road courses. So it's fun to see what he can do here.
That's what makes Juan Pablo Montoya so dangerous. No matter what discipline, no matter what cars, no matter what situation, no matter what circumstances you put him in, he's always going to find his way to the front. And that's what makes him so deadly.
And here comes the 2 leaders on the pit road. They are going to have to get some
fumes. On fumes.
But this is going to be the race for the lead right now. Newman cycles out in front as they head by this time.
Oh, they caught back up with him really fast because they had to try to save so much fuel. That might put them pretty far back in the pack. Maybe they'll cycle up some positions as they re-enter. Hopefully they get a clean rejoin.
Looks like they're going to rejoin back there in the latter half of the top 10. So not a bad pit cycle for them. Maybe gained a couple spots for Bobby Labonte. He was struggling a little bit today.
Ryan Newman's in the lead. Tony Stewart trying to track him down, followed by Denny Hamlin. Those 3 drivers seem to be the 3 fastest all race today so far. Haven't been far from the front at all. Some of these other drivers seem to be fluctuating track position a lot as he tries to get underneath. David Gilliland gets underneath the 5 of Kyle Busch. Great move by him.
Some great racing throughout the whole pack here today. Newman got slipped past for the lead. Hamlin, the 2 Joe Gibbs teammates of Stewart and Hamlin, now out front.
Question is, with Tony Stewart out front now, are they going to be able to catch him, or are they just going to be steering his rear bumper for the rest of the day?
Man, Stewart started pretty deep in the pack too, and he's really made some adjustments to that number 20 car. They've made that thing faster, and that thing is running really good as they run right now.
That's the key importance of having good communication between the crew chief and the driver. Being able to establish that code, that language between each other, that each other understand in order to be able to fine-tune the race car so the driver is comfortable and the crew chief has the confidence that that driver can go out and perform in the way he should be able to perform.
We're closing on the final laps here. It's been a fast race, but man, this has been a good one. Multiple lead changes, multiple strategies. It is fun to see these guys battle at this 3-turn racetrack.
Oh, the 11 seems like he's getting a little run. Is he going to try to take the move in the final corner here? Look at those cars bounce around on that suspension.
There he goes. 3 cars go to the inside of Stewart. Dave Blaney now up into the top 3. Hamlin, your leader yet again.
Stewart seemed like he got a little loose there. Had to go up the racetrack and catch the race car.
Could Dave
was able to
Blaney
take advantage?
Could Dave Blaney get Toyota's first win here today? 2 more laps to go here at Blue Moon Bay. The leaders get together at turn 1. It's going to open the door for Blaney. Blaney's going to have an excellent run going down the back straightaway.
He just has to get the power down, has to get in that slipstream. Oh my gosh, Ryan Newman up a whole 10.5.
These guys are going really, really fast around here. They're going to be coming to the white flag this time by. Whoa, slipping and sliding. Oh, Newman's off pace. Newman's coming into the pits. Out of the lead. They're side by side for second place. Here they come down the front straightaway. The white flag is out. Dave Blaney to the inside. Denny Hamlin to the outside.
Do they have enough fuel to make it back around is the real question.
Here they come, bumping and banging for the lead. They make contact.
Dave Blaney body slams him.
Here comes Tony Stewart with P3. Blaney takes the lead.
He clears him out of one. He got a nice gap. About 2 to 3 car lengths.
2 more turns to go to settle it. Does Hamlin have anything for the 22 of Blaney? Here they come into the finals, straight away to the last turn. Nose to tail.
Trying to get that first win for Toyota and a great win for Bill Davis Racing.
Here they come to the inside. Does he have a look at it? To the stripe. Can he get it done? Blaney's out of gas! Hamlin wins it at the line!
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, how?
Blaney loses it in heartbreaking fashion as Hamlin squeezes by on fumes.
Dave Blaney's crew chief has thrown his headset on top of the pit box. He's trying to figure out how they didn't get enough fuel in the last pit stop, how they didn't. Oh my gosh.
What a race here from Blue Moon Bay. What a finish. Dave Blaney loses in a heartbreaking fashion, but Denny Hamlin pulls off an amazing win. Led the most laps, started on the pole. But honestly, you wouldn't have been able to tell that he was going to win this race. He had been back and forth battling for his life out there to try to keep those guys at bay.
He has, and he somehow managed to bring it back together, finish off strong, and get that win today. But Dave Blaney, man, he was trying to get that win for Toyota. I guess that's one thing they're going to have to work out with the Toyota engines. Maybe the fuel economy is just slightly different than what they're used to running Dodges or Chevrolet or Ford engines. So I feel like that's just something that they're just going to have to figure out. And when they go to the next race, whenever that is, they figure it out and they build a better strategy.
Let's take a look at the final finishing order here. Denny Hamlin's going to take out the win here today. Kurt Busch up to P2. An excellent finish for him. He just wanted to settle down and get some points. P3 is going to be Dave Blaney. Heartbreaking. Still a good podium, though. Good finish for Toyota. Some momentum building for him. Tony Stewart finished P4. P5 will be Martin Truex Jr. P6 will actually be Bobby Labonte. P7 will be Casey Kane. P8 will be Juan Pablo Montoya. P9 will be the 01 of Mark Martin. P10 will be Jimmy Johnson. 11th will be Dale Jr. 12th will be Kyle Busch. 13th will be Gilliland. 14th will be Kenseth. 15th will be the 55 of Michael Waltrip. 16th will be Carl Edwards. 17th will be the 29 of Kevin Harvick. Then 18th will be 24 of Jeff Gordon. Not a good day for them. And P last will be Ryan Newman after their pit strategy did not work out. But the fans did not sit down much during this race. 100,000 are going to leave this racetrack very, very happy with what they just seen here today. Man, what did you think of that race that we just watched?
Miles, that was an incredible race. The bumping and the banging, these drivers putting it all on the line, especially those lead four, were trying everything they could to get around each other, trying different lines like we said was going to happen earlier. We saw the track get slick. These drivers trying to get a handle on these cars. Really hard to handle, especially getting the power down with all that horsepower. But, man, that is such a heartbreak for Dave Blaney once again. But congratulations to Denny Hamlin on getting it done.
What a race here from Blue Moon Bay. Denny Hamlin, your winner in the number 11. Thank you again for joining me here tonight, Rashad. We will be back with you hopefully soon. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to follow us on Instagram and like us on YouTube. Subscribe to us for some more stuff like this. We may do some more Nextel Cup races upcoming soon. But thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great evening and a happy New Year's.